OpenAI removed study mode from ChatGPT. The best tool for self-learning now is gone. It doesn't appear in the menu anymore. We don't know if they will bring it back at some point, but there are some clues that they will not. Today we will check a couple ways how you can still turn it on and why you shouldn't. And then we will build our own custom version of study mode that will work even better. Let's go. For those who missed it, let's start with what study mode is and why it was important and why I'm so pissed that they removed it. Usually when you ask ChatGPT to explain you some topic, it doesn't really explain you anything. It just gives you a lot of information, like a huge list with multiple bullet points, with everything it knows around the topic. In the end, sometimes it can offer you some questions or a short quiz, but that's basically it. Study mode was a special mode in ChatGPT that instead of giving you information, was applying some best practices from teachers to actually explain you the topic. It was asking you follow-up questions, it was giving you small exercises and immediately gave feedback for them. So instead of giving you a long document that you have to read for 15 minutes, it was playing sort of a ping pong with you. It was giving you a bit of information and then immediately some small question. You answer this question, it checks your answer and then give you a feedback, then tiny bit of additional information. So it was very interactive process and I liked it a lot and I've seen how it works not only for me but also for other people. It was a huge help if you are learning something, for example, foreign language like I did. If you are learning it with study mode, you progress much faster than you would just go with regular books or videos on YouTube. I even made video back then with a very bold statement that it's better than 90% of teachers I know, and it is really like that because from my experience, usually what teachers are doing, they are giving you a lecture for 45 minutes and then in the end of this lecture they might give you some test or give you some homework. And study mode in this sense was much more interactive and efficient. And now OpenAI removed it, so we kind of lost this tool. It didn't remove it completely though, but it doesn't appear in the menu anymore. So if we go to ChatGPT, we click this plus button, and usually previously here in more section, we had study and learn, which was basically triggered to turn on this study mode. Now it's gone and there is no obvious way how you can bring it back. And it seems it happened quite recently because 1.5 months ago, I was recording another video where I actually mentioned study mode and I used study mode and it was still there. That's why I'm a little bit unsure what exactly is going on with it. My assumption that new models that they released recently are not really compatible with the old study mode prompt, so they decided to completely remove it. Then I started Googling and I've stumbled upon several tricks how you can still turn on study mode. Number one, right here in this chat window, you can type / and then study, or you can just select it here in the menu. So it's still available in the list of commands. You can click on it and then you see this small badge that means that study mode is on again. Another way of doing it would be to adjust the URL that you are entering in your browser. You need to add $hints = study. This is a shortcut that also turns on this study mode once you enter ChatGPT website. But there are problems with these two tricks because I think OpenAI removed study mode for a reason. It wasn't some crazy technology and I'm 99% sure that it have to do something with this model compatibility and it just not work as well with study mode like previous models. And I have, if not a solid proof, but some hints and clues because I tried to use this new study mode. Sometimes behavior is correct. Like here, it gave me a tiny chunk of information and then it asked me a follow-up question, but sometimes it acts weirdly. For example, here I again asked it similar question. It started acting properly, so it asked about my language level. I said my level is B1, and then it just dumped a lot of information about different cases and how to use different words. So instead of going one by one, topic by topic, it gave me almost all information regarding this particular grammar topic that I need. It is still better than regular ChatGPT, but this is exactly why I have this feeling that even these two tricks, how to turn on study mode, are not for a long time with us. And I really truly want to be wrong, and I want them to fix it and bring it back. So what to do now? With this behavior of study mode, with this inconsistency in responses, we cannot really use it. But we also want to have study mode. We want to have this learning assistant. So let's try to figure out how study mode worked from the beginning. As I explained in my old video, study mode is not a new model. It's not some crazy technology. It's basically the prompt. So before you ask study mode to explain you something, ChatGPT was automatically adding some set of instructions how model should behave during this particular conversation with you. And since it's just a prompt, we can find it and we can use it ourselves in our conversation with regular ChatGPT. Luckily, there was a post on Reddit some time ago where a person was also complaining about removing study mode. And one of the users, shout out to Pastoshova, actually shared the original prompt for study mode. Basically the prompt that was used by OpenAI and that was baked into every conversation with study mode you have. And interestingly, in the same post, this person also mentioned another prompt that was refined with ChatGPT study mode itself. So they offer kind of two different variations. So the easiest way to use your own custom study mode is just to paste this prompt and send it to ChatGPT. And with that, we are kind of turning on this study mode. We basically explain rules, and I can ask about other grammatical topic. Explain me passive in German, I am B1. And now we see that it gives me a little bit of information here, and in the end ask me a question. And after using it a little bit, I should say that with prompt or with using one of these two hacks that I showed you to turn on study mode, it feels more or less the same. But the thing is that since you have a prompt, you will always be able to use it even if OpenAI will decide to remove even these two small hacks that we used. But additionally, it gives you a huge advantage because now you have a prompt that you can customize. As we know, prompt is just a text, and here you can analyze how this prompt of study mode is structured, what instructions it has, and what things you can actually tune here or adjust for your preferences or for things you learn the most. For example, just for a joke, let's in tone and approach, we will add always address user as sir. And let's start another session with the same prompt. It's already here. Understood, sir. Explain me German past tense. And as we can say, our prompt worked. And the best thing about this method, that originally this prompt for study mode was designed to help anyone with anything. And now you have a full control over it, and you can customize it the way you want. You can tailor it to your needs, to, for example, language you are learning, to some particular type of exercises, to an approach that you prefer. For example, you like really bite-sized chunks of information. You can ask it in a prompt to deliver you these explanations piece by piece. So play around with it, compare it with study mode that is actually still there, see how it works for you. Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you want more videos like that, subscribe to the channel to not miss it. Thank you very much and see you later.